Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Mixed Media Mayhem. This happens every Friday. We are lifting a mixed media layout, and today we chose the fabulous Julie Taylor over at the Hey Little Magpie creative team. And so I am starting out with these circles that I'm going to stack up to create a little bit more dimension. I'm not making like a shaker or anything, but I am going to make it look a little bit like a porthole because I want it to look like the octopus is on the outside of the porthole. And that is a photo of an octopus. It's not the best photo, but I'm not really documenting this for that photo. I am documenting it for a video because I am going to link a QR code onto that page. I will print out a little QR code. It'll be on the page. You can scan it and then go to the video because he happened to be putting on a huge show the day we were there. And this is at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. We were there a couple weeks back, and yeah, he put on a tremendous show. And if you want to see the tremendous show that he was putting on, you can stay to the very end of this layout. I have included the video. I don't normally include our family videos. I will include like that I am linking to a video. But in this case, because it's just the octopus, I thought I'd go ahead and put that up there. So I was just showing you that I am using some Picket Studio paper glaze in Snowdrop White. I think that's what it's called. And I am using this little fishy stencil from Echo Park. I will put links down below to the products that I'm using today, in case you are interested in purchasing any of them. And as it was on the screen there, they are affiliate links, so I do get a little bit of a commission off of that, or a kickback if you are inclined to purchase. I would love for you to purchase through my link, so it does help me out just a tiny bit. Okay, so onward, I am also using this Fishnet Stencil, and that is from Gina Marie Designs. It's the same place where I get my Enamel Dots. So I went through my scrap bin and I pulled out these pieces of this pinkish coral peach. It's not peach, reddish coral color. I don't know what color you call that. And the bluish green colors, because I thought those worked well with the ocean look that I have going on. And you know, one of the papers has a crab on it, so I thought that worked out perfectly. And then this one that I am distressing, the first one I was distressing there has waves on it, or it looks like waves anyway. It's a kind of an oceany type look to it. Hopefully that makes sense. And then the other red paper that has a print on it, the last one that I'm going to do, also has crabs, but they are little white, or lighter color crabs. They're not really white, off-white maybe. Anyway, I decided to go ahead and distress all of these papers. The one that is the most pink there has a little bit of mixed media. Like I said, it's from my scrap bin, and it did have some mixed media on it, just some splatter. But the splatter matched the darkest color of that. I'm going to call it teal. It's really like a dark tone of teal. I don't know. And so I thought it worked out perfectly anyway. And I'm really happy with the way that it's coming together already. So the nice thing about the paper glaze is it goes on really quickly and dries quickly is what I'm trying to say. And then I decided this fishnet, I'm going to just do a little bit of stenciling with my brush, and I'm not adding any color to it, so it's just kind of giving a little bit of gray look to it, and that's okay. I don't want it to be overpowering. I want it to be very subtle. And I think that it looks really good when it's all done. So again, I didn't ink up anything onto my brush or anything, so it's just whatever leftover ink is on there. And so I'm pretty happy with the way that it's looking so far. I do need to go over and take this to my sewing machine so that there is some thread on the layout. It looks like in her original she has 6 of these triangles, but I'm only doing 5. I think it looks fine. And hers have at least one. I think it has one. No, I think it's just one line of stitching through each. And I'm using my liquid glue to adhere them in place before I go to my sewing machine, because my liquid glue, once it dries, I can go ahead and sew through it. It's not going to gum up my needle on my sewing machine. So there they are. I went ahead and took it over to the sewing machine. I'm sorry you didn't get to see that on camera. It's really not in a good location for filming. So it is what it is, but it is just basically the fact that I ran a stitch through it. So then I pulled out my paper glaze in, it's Artemisia. I don't even know how to say that. Artemisia. Artemisia. I don't know. Silver. Anyway, it's silver. And I started rubbing that around the white circle because, like I said, I wanted that to look like a porthole, and it was too white. So I needed to make it look like it was more of a metal. But if I was really smart, I would have done it before the photo was on there. So I'm being kind of cautious and careful and just rubbing it with my finger. And then I decided that the silver was not exactly what I was looking for. I wanted it to be a little bit more, I don't know, kind of have a little bit of a rusty look, a little old look. So I pulled out my Nuvo embellishment mousse in Persian red. And I went over the silver with the Persian red, and I'm just doing this all with my finger. I have greater control, making sure it's not going to get in or onto the photo. I also think the red looked really good because it brings out the color of the octopus better. And so I was pretty happy with the way that that came out. And then I decided to pull out my enamel dots and use those as though they were like the bolts that are on the porthole of a ship. And so I'm just trying to evenly space them so that it ends up that there aren't two that are really close together when I'm all done at the end of this. So I didn't really plan it out. I just started sticking them down, and I can't really pull them up because if I do, it pulls the mixed media with it. But it worked out, so I was in luck. Then I decided I'm going to pop it up onto some foam because I have all of that dimension with those triangles. I definitely needed some foam under the other side because it wasn't sitting level. So I just used the remnant of the center of the circle to kind of give me a guide as to how big I needed to cut my foam. And then I'm going to stick a couple of pieces in the flat area of those triangles so that it has support on that side as well, and I have something to glue it to. And it does take a few minutes to get it all set up and done. I end up either holding it for a few minutes, or I take it usually an acrylic block or my Sizzix Sidekick and just set it on top until it kind of sets up. Then I went with a blast from the past, the Fiskars punch that is little waves. So I'm trying to get them going the correct direction because each layer I want them to go the opposite direction of the layer that is below it. So I'm going to do 3 pieces of paper here. I'm going with the dark, the light, and then the more blue color. And I really like the way that it turns out. I am going to add a tiny bit more of the mixed media behind that using one of those pieces as a stencil. And then I will dry brush on some blue to give a little bit more of that wave look. Meanwhile, I have these 2 punches. These are old Tim Holtz punches. I cannot find them online anymore, so I can't provide you a link to them, but they are coral looking pieces. And so I'm going to use those. I just punched it out of the same papers that I used on the opposite side to create the triangles. and I thought I would use the same colors just to bring them across the layout. So here I am working on these little waves. She has mushrooms and foliage up in her original layout, but because I'm doing ocean, I didn't want to go with any foliage or anything. So I thought these waves worked really well. The foliage that I am using would be the coral, which is not actually foliage, it is actually an animal. So it does kind of give the look of foliage, even though it is not foliage. So that's the way I'm using it anyway. And I really like the way that it comes out. So I did decide to pop these top 2 layers of waves up onto some foam tape. And I'm using some really thin foam tape that I got from a friend of mine. It's been in my stash for a long time. I'm almost out of it. I have no clue where she got it, but it is super sticky, but nice and thin, so that it's not adding a ton of dimension, not nearly as much. I think it takes 2 layers of that to make a 1 layer of fun foam height. So it works out really well. So then I'm just going to go ahead and start tucking these little pieces of coral in to kind of see where I want them. And I'm liking the way that it's looking so far because it's bringing all of the colors to the bottom right hand side of the photo to kind of mirror the triangles that are in the upper left. And there's where I just added a little bit of the ink, and I like the way that that looks. I am going to add a little bit more of that blue ink into the area right above that, and then down to the bottom left of that bottom crab looking triangle, or crabby triangle. I'm just using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere all of these little pieces of coral down. I love this glue. It dries clear and matte, so it's not all shiny if it leaks out from behind these really delicate pieces. It's very hard to see it if it does. And so it is my glue of choice. I use it for all kinds of stuff, and every time I scrapbook. Highly recommend it. There is a link down below for that as well if that is something that you are interested in. I apologize that there are no links for any of the punches because they are no longer available. So I did bring in a little bit more of this orangey color just to kind of play off of the colors of the crab in that middle red piece. And I think it's looking pretty good so far. I'm liking the way it looks. And here's where I just add a little bit more blue. I'm not adding a lot. I'm just adding a little bit. And then I'm going to spritz a little bit of water over it. I don't know what happened there. I think there was a couple of spots on it where it just kind of soaked it up. So I just used my sand eraser to kind of take a little bit of it off where it looked like it was really saturated with that blue ink. And here I'm just spraying my hand with some water and then dropping the droplets down. And I like the way that it looks. It's very, very, very subtle. You might be able to see it in the close-ups, but it's not anything that you can really easily see on screen. And then I went through my bin of ephemera and stickers that I used for my Hawaii trip because I thought that might have some items that were more tropical looking or water or ocean looking. And so I was able to find that piece that says adventure, that little peach card that is sticking up says favorite place, and then of course there's the piece that says right now. So my title essentially is going to be favorite place right now, Aquarium. I don't know if it really is my favorite place, but it was really fun being there. We took Noah, and that was a lot of fun just being able to hang out with him and enjoy the day. So always fun when we can take him. My daughter was it was me and my daughter, Noah, and one of his little friends, and so that was really exciting. The little piece that's right above where it says adventure, that's going to get moved over to the opposite side, and the QR code is going to go where that little piece is currently sitting. While I go ahead and assemble that, I'll remind you that there are a bunch of us playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem. Links are down below for you if you are interested in seeing any of the other videos. I highly recommend it. And this happens every Friday. The last Friday of the month, you are more than welcome to play along. And the inspiration piece for the last Friday of the month is already posted in the Mixed Media Mayhem Facebook group. So you can go and check that out as well. And that link is down below also. Okay, I added a little bit of twine to my little piece that says adventure. Here is my QR code. I don't normally put my QR codes so that you could, like right now, you could probably pause the video and scan it. I don't normally leave them on the screen like that because normally the videos are personal, like family videos. But because this was just an octopus that anybody who happened to be there that day saw, I went ahead and included the QR code, and then at the end of the video, like I mentioned before, there is about, I don't know, maybe a minute segment of the octopus moving all around and just really putting on a show for everybody who was watching. And he is like a giant octopus. He's really big. So you can stay tuned for that. It's really pretty and it's to music. So it's coming up in just a few seconds. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions or comments, as always, leave them down below. I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I will also include a link to my video on how to create a QR code if that's something of interest to you. So check that out down below also. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys again very soon with another video. And I'll don't forget to check out everyone else who is playing along. Take care and have a great day.